I mean, this is what we're talking about. How can you define what was offside and what wasn't? If you're going down to those lines, you've got to give the benefit to the goal scorer, surely. You know, if we're going down that line, it's not just Harry Kane or this. There's so many goals now that are going to be tight like that you've got to go with the goal scorer. You know, when we changed the rule to if he's level, he's onside from the old days, and then they went, well, give the attacker the advantage. I think we've got to go back to that. When we're drawing lines like that and it's fractions, I think we go that way.
Well, Phil Foden got that goal stand. So just going back to what you were saying about possibly he could be one of the best in the world. He's still only 21. So by 22, you'd won the Ballon d'Or, yeah?
It's all right. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I know so.
So he's got 12 more months.
And he's one of the... Yeah. In my eyes, he's the player to go and do that.
Joking apart, could he do it?
Yeah. In my eyes, he's that good. He's playing at the right team. If they go and win the Premier League, if England do well in the World Cup, or if City win the Champions League as well, where do you look? He has to be a City player. Then where do you look? If he's one of the star men in the final, which he's absolutely capable of doing, then he could do it. And he has certainly got the talent. Of all the England players, there's some very good players out there. But when you're looking at true world class and could be something special, just a bit different to everybody else, look no further than this lad.
For me to know he was 22 and he won the Ballon d'Or, anyone would think he'd mention it once or twice. Just gets ingrained all the time, Glenn.
He's too humble. And no, he's got the talent. Whether he'll get it in the next couple of years, the only thing why he won't is probably because he might not play every game. Because the squad is so good. Even De Bruyne, who's in his peak, gets rested. And because you're at City, if he was at any other club, he'd be playing every game. He'd be a part of the spine. He'd be the first on the team sheet. At City, he's going to probably have to wait some time. Whether, if he stays at City, he's ever going to get that position. Who gets that position where you play every game? Unless Messi had gone to City or something like that, then that might have changed. But he's going to, in the next 2 or 3 years, touch wood, that he doesn't get injured, this kid could go to the very, very top of world football. I agree with Michael. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I was excited when I saw him at 17 because of his maturity, of how he plays. He understands the game, and that is worth, well, it's worth so much more than just talent. If you understand the game and you've got talent as well, then you can be a world beater.
Fascinating. 10 Premier League starts this season for Phil Foden. 10 Premier League wins in a row.
10th win in a row in the Premier League. What did you make of the performance?
Really tough. The opponent is, we knew it, we felt it. But we conceded, especially in the beginning. They had one clear chance, but after we didn't concede one shot on target. And in this stadium, for the way they play, it's so difficult to do it. And we play in the game we should play with a lot of calm. A lot of credit with Brentford and a lot of credit what we have done.
You got one goal allowed thanks to VAR. Did you think you should have had a second goal allowed thanks to VAR?
I didn't see, but...
The lines are so close.
So the margin in these kind of situations, Tottenham, Southampton, Tottenham, that disallow goal for Harry Kane. So the lines, I don't know, it's the margin is so... If you put the line here, put the line here. So sometimes it's difficult to know, but is this allowed? Is this allowed? What could I say? Important is that we didn't concede much, and a team like all the opponents, when they come here, they suffer a lot. So and we controlled the game, and we won it.
Phil Foden back with the goal after being left out. What reaction did you see from Phil?
Exceptional. Listen, with Phil, he's already he's a football player, so we don't have doubts about that. So about his quality, about and we knew it. So always I played since he came up to training and play with us. Always was exceptional.
What about Phil in that false nine role as well? He says it's something he'd like to develop moving forward. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I think he likes it. His movement. Yeah, I like it. Today we play with 2 false nines, and for the way they played, we believe is the best way to do it. And also Kevin was exceptional today again, and in general the team was brilliant in many aspects. The game was not exceptional in terms of chances, but you cannot create more when one team play 10 players in a small space, and the strikers are so close, or holding midfielders are far away from central defenders, so close for Fernandinho. The space is always impossible. So in that situation, is be patient and not concede counterattacks. No, we gave them stupid faults, unnecessary faults, that where they are so strong with the long balls, with the free kicks, with the corners, and it's a thing we have to improve in the future.
Not too much improvement needed at the moment. 10 league wins in a row, 6 goals conceded in that period, and they've never been behind, as we've said, in any of those games. And that is the 4th time since becoming Manchester City manager that a Pep Guardiola team has gone 10 minimum in a row. The most was 18, and in that period, there's only other Premier League managers done that twice. He's now done it 4 times, Michael.
Well, you can only look at that graphic and marvel, can't you, how good they are. They're in a great vein of form at the moment. And when we see teams, I mean, I remember watching Chelsea at the start of this season, taking a step back and thinking, wow, this team could go and win the league. They looked as if they didn't have a chink in their armour. So they're in one of those runs at the minute. They're playing outstanding football. But something will happen. You know, they will come up against a Liverpool, a Chelsea, and something will happen, and it might knock them off the rail for a little bit. At the minute, you can't envisage anything else but them continuing, because we're seeing them so dominant. But this is the Premier League. We're only halfway through. There will be bumps along the road. They're not champions yet, and they've still got a lot of work to do. But at the minute, it's outstanding.
Having said that, at the turn of the year, City are 8 points clear. Now, that has happened 8 or more on 5 previous occasions, and guess what? The leaders in each and every season have gone on to win the title. It is looking ominous, Glenn.
Of course, they've deserved the cushion that they've given themselves. They've got a cushion, probably 2 games they could lose. You know, whether it against Liverpool or Chelsea, that would be the key moment. If Liverpool or Chelsea go to the Etihad and beat them, then it could be game on. But they could lose the next 2 games. I don't think they will, but if they lose the next 2 games, they've still earned that cushion, and they go again. You can't see that team conceding goals at the moment. And so if they're not conceding that much, they're always going to be opening teams up. And how are you going to beat those teams? It's a very difficult task when you play City. Every manager, when they go and have a glass of wine after the game, will go, well, at least we've played them now. They're out the way. We haven't got to play them next week. And that's how good they are. You know, as much as you want to be on the front foot and cause them problems, on any given 90 minutes of football, you can beat any team in the world. Of course you can. But at the moment, they just seem to be in control of every aspect of the game. Pep was saying there he was a little bit concerned about giving free kicks away. And there was a little bit of anxiety when the camera went over to him. He was touching his... He was thinking the set play is the only way they're going to score. So I think that's even there. He's come out and said we can improve on that. So they'll be on the training ground getting better and better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away by world-class players that, I mean, you don't even know how they're defending at the minute. I mean, the graphic we showed so many clean sheets, but, I mean, did Ederson have a touch of the ball today, let alone a save? I mean, they've got players that are absolute at the top of the game. The De Bruynes, the Fodens, they've got £100 million player in Grealish, all players like this. When they lose the ball, they win it like that. They press so quickly, so hard, so fast. They've got energy when they're out of possession. And when you've got that, they weren't like that, 5-6 years ago. I used to watch them in the Champions League and think, oh, you're still too soft. You know, you're brilliant in possession. You can score at any time, but you're still a bit soft. Now, wow. I mean, as I say, I don't even know if the goalkeeper's in good form at the minute. I don't even know if the centre halves are playing well. It doesn't even get to that stage. They're that good. But as I say, this is them at the peak of their powers. Things will happen in the season and they'll be tested in certain ways.
OK, let's hear from the latest manager beaten by Manchester City. It is the Brentford boss, Thomas Frank.
Well, there's a sense of relief on Pep Guardiola's face, having got through that match with a win. How do you feel about your team's performance?
Absolutely fantastic. First half, unbelievable. We're giving one chance away against Manchester City. We are bossed up in Hounslow. We are the lowest budget. They have the richest budget, the best players, the best managers. And in one game, we know there's always a chance. And we are lacking 6 of our normal starters. It's unbelievable. I can't actually understand it in a way. Of course, I'm so disappointed we didn't get anything out of it. Marginal onside, their goal. We had 3 very good opportunities, chances that we need to take, of course. Second half, it's difficult to get near them, of course. So we knew that when we were going high, we wanted to go high a little bit more in the pressure. And then still only had 2 chances. We kept on a very, very, very low amount of shot and chances compared to when they are best. So, yeah, very impressed.
Well, he's certainly going to take something from it, Glenn.
Yeah, I think what he would love to have done, when you play Man City, you've got to have your best team out. He's missing 6 of his players that played against Arsenal opening season, probably played against Chelsea when we saw it, and Liverpool. So he's thinking, give me my best team. If ever you're going to have your best team, if you're Brentford, it's against Man City. And that wasn't there tonight. And I think it was evident. I think they tried, they put every ounce of energy into it, Brentford, but they were lacking. The gap was there for everyone to see. And let's be fair, I've also got to say Man City weren't at their very, very best. They were in a sort of a mid-gear, really, and still did enough.
They did.
Got there in the end. What pulled you through?
Yeah, definitely. It was an important win today. But, you know, Brentford made it really difficult. They were a physical team, a very dangerous offset these places. So, you know, that we had to keep going until the final whistle. And, yeah, I'm proud of the team for doing that.
1 goal disallowed for offside near the end. Yours was a close call. Were you confident when you scored it that it was valid?
No. I've had a few this year that's been ruled offside, so I wasn't really too confident. I thought I went a little bit early. But yeah, thank God the goal counted, so yeah, I'm really happy.
And could there have been others for you?
Yeah, there was a few where I went a little bit too early again and I've won offside. And overall, I thought the team could have scored a few more today. But you know, like I said, we dug into the end and we kept working hard until the final kick.
Back in the team today, the manager talked after the game at Newcastle when he didn't play, players having to be focused all the time. Is that something you've had to take on board?
Yeah, definitely. You know, around the Christmas time, you can't really you know, put your foot off the gas. You have to keep going and remain focused, and this team's doing that at the moment, and you can see that we're getting maximum points, which is really good to see.
And this false 9 role, are you relishing it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
We're seeing it longer term, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe in the future I can move into there, but you know, wherever the manager puts me, I try and do my best for the team. You know, I started on the left in the first half, don't forget, as well. So yeah, it's really good that I'm adaptable and I can fit in anywhere.
Will City keep winning? Chelsea and Liverpool have dropped points this week. An 8-point lead. Is this turning into a decisive period in the title race?
You know, it's the most challenging league in the world, and it just goes to show that you can drop points at any time. And like I said, the team's remaining focused at the moment and playing really well, so I'm happy.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
When you've got a player at his disposal to bring back into a team that's just won 9 in a row, is that an embarrassment of riches?
It certainly is. No, he spoke so well also there, you know. Tonight he played so maturely. He played like a 29-year-old. He really did, playing in that so-called false 9. But that's where he was tonight. He was on the half-turn all the time. He had his back to play at times. Although he wasn't going to be on the shoulder, he was looking to play on the half-turn. He can cope with that. He's even better when he's deeper, running at people, faced up the other way, so he can play so many positions. He's so flexible, but he's got end product. There's a lot of good youngsters around, but they haven't got his end product. You see him go in there and he scores an offside goal with his head. He goes in there, his timing of his runs, the goal was like a centre-forward. He knew the ball was set up beautifully, so he's making movement, knowing De Bruyne is putting it in first time. He's not waiting to see whether he's going to take 2 touches. He knows it's coming first time, like any good striker. Michael will tell you that. Bang, in he goes, gets his goal. He's such a mature player.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one player I think, one English player that I think could get to the very, very top of his profession. And by that I'm talking, you know, one of the best players in the world. We've had some great players over the years. Of course, Harry Kane is still right up there. But this lad is special. This lad is different. He's got absolutely everything. He's strong as an ox, even though he's small and slight. You know, he's got pace, even though, you know, when you look at him, he doesn't scream pace at you. His shape, but he's quick. He's so intelligent. His touch is just a dream. I mean, as I say, the highest praise I could say is that he could get to the very top.
We're talking Gascoigne level, you coached it. Would you love to have coached
Oh, yeah.
Phil
because
Foden?
I'll tell you what he's got as well. He understands the game. He understands positions.
And is that a big thing for a coach to see a player who does that?
That's one of the biggest things. That's where you say talent isn't enough. You know, you've got loads of talented players around the world, but can they go into a team? Can they understand where to be at the right time when the ball's going to be released? On the opposite side of the pitch, you know, I saw him do that when he was 17. He's so mature, he really is. He's going to hit his peak probably earlier than a lot of other youngsters because he's that good. And he can, as I say, he scores goals, he creates. You can play him deep, you play him wide, you play him as a false nine. Probably go and play him left back and he'd be top player on the pitch. So he's got everything. You know, you just hope he gets the right people round him and he keeps himself fit, doesn't get injured. He's playing at the right club. There's no doubt about it, under the right manager for his abilities, and he's going into an England side that play good football through the pitch. And that's the way the modern day, the game's being played, thankfully. And it suits him down to the ground. He's got absolutely everything. His future is so bright.
And he was in the right place at the right time in that first half with the all-important moment, as it turned out, of the evening.
Yeah, as Glenn says, he's got end product.